Okay, Iowa lose a heartbreaker, a tough one. 63 to 61 tonight against Michigan State. They had two good looks, a 3-point shot to get it. But just like the rest of their night, their 3-point shots were not hitting, guys. Um, okay, let's see. So anyway, they weren't hitting their 3-point shots, and then they did have a desperation two at the very end. Hang on. Okay, alrighty. So anyhow, Iowa, just a low scoring game. For the record, I did predict that Iowa would lose this game long before they played it. I just felt that they weren't going to win this one, and it was a low scoring game. Couple things needed to happen for Iowa to win this game. One of them is they need to score more points. They did lousy with the 3-point shot tonight. Let's see what the 3-point shot was. Iowa only shot 17% from the 3-point line tonight, guys. That's not going to get the job done, and we allowed Michigan State to shoot 40% from the 3-point line. The keys to the game were keeping Michigan State away from the 3-point line. Well, they shot 40%, so Iowa failed in that department. The other thing is we just didn't shoot the ball well enough from the 3-point line at all. Would we hit three all night? Anyway, it was horrible. Three all night. Um, Aaron Eulis ends up being our um, point leader for the night with 17 points, with followed by Rabacha with 16. The only other person in double figures was um, Chris Murray with 11. So Chris had a really off night, and he was 0 for 5 from the 3-point line. Perkins was 0 for 1. McCaffrey was 1 for 4. Sanford was 1 for 5. Dix was 1 for 0. Guys, these are guys that usually hit the 3-point shots. It's just crazy, and the free throw percentage tonight couldn't be very good either. How did they do on the free throws? Doesn't have it here. Um, See if I can find it another way. So free throws, Iowa shoots 6 for 13. Um, honestly, that's a 46% shooting percentage. They need to be up around 70% to have won this game. So they would have needed to hit they would have won the game if they'd hit just two or three more field goals in this game. I mean, free throws, right? And maybe hit an extra three here and there, but the free throw shooting was abysmal tonight. Um, m- Michigan State's free throws were 7 for 12, so they were a little bit better for 58%. 10 offensive rebounds, 28 defensive rebounds. Um, whereas, yeah, rebounds were 38 to 37 in Iowa's favor. So, honestly, guys, this was a game that Iowa should have won. Honestly, this is just something they should not have lost. Um, it's just unfathomable, when they go in there and they shoot like they do. Murray, I don't know. I I know that Murray he was guarded tight all night too, but at the same time, he just doesn't seem to know how to take over a game when he needs to take over a game in the second half. Hit your 3 points. Go to the rim. Don't be soft about it. Go hard. If you miss it, you miss it, but you probably got fouled because you went hard. Okay, but going soft, all you're doing is allowing the ball to be rebounded back to Michigan State and let them go. Okay, so like I said, I had originally predicted a 12-8 Big Ten season. With this crazy season that it is for the Big Ten, I have no idea where that that ranks them at the end of the season. Right now they're in 7th or 8th place in the Big Ten. Um, they've got a 4-5 record in the Big Ten. We got Rutgers coming to town, I think, in about a week or two. They're coming soon. I know we've got at home, we've got Northwestern. I think Rutgers after that, or Rutgers during that stretch. And so we got the number 2 and 3 team in the Big Ten. Who would have thought? Coming to Carver Hawkeye. We've got to win those games. We cannot allow Northwestern to beat us. We really can't. We cannot allow Rutgers, to beat us. If Iowa wants to be in the driver's seat, or even anywhere taken seriously, because right now, if they don't get their act together, they're going to play themselves out of the NCAA tournament. I mean, right now they're considered a lock, but their seeding's going down. The other day it was number 8, now it's number 10. So now their seeding looks like it's a number 10, and so that's not good. Um, you know, Pretty soon they'll be on the bubble, or the first 4 in, or the first 4 out, if they don't get their act together. So the basketball team really seriously needs to figure this out, guys. They need to figure it out, and they need to figure it out in a hurry, because the second and third place teams are coming to Carver Hawkeye Arena this week. And I forget who the other one is. It's a 3-game homestand. I forget who else is coming on this road trip. Who else is coming to Carver? You guys have to help me out on that one. I do thank you guys for watching. Please watch, subscribe to the video. We'll get you more videos coming out as we can. I know it's been over a week since we've had one. It's because Coach Hack is taking a break right now. He's just doing videos every now and then when he has something he wants to say, and that's fine. Whenever he wants in, we let him in. Paul is taking a day job, and so it's really gotten hard for him to find a time where he can get on here, where all 3 of us can get on here together. And I know that Paul's a popular person on this thing. And I had knee surgery last Friday, so I have not felt like getting out too much and doing anything. But I went to recovery today, or a follow up today on my knee surgery from last Friday, and things are progressing well. I'm starting to move a little bit more with a little bit less pain. So here I am at my desk talking to you guys, which I didn't think I would do before, much of next week sometimes. So here we are. Okay. Okay. Anyhow, okay. So the men lose, and it is what it is. It's not the end of the world. They're 4-5, and I actually predict that they will have a 3-game home winning streak, and hopefully by that time Patrick is feeling good enough to come back and play with the team, and give them a badly needed spark, because they really need it. Um, so yeah, this team fights hard, guys. I mean, all except for the Ohio State game, which I really thought they kind of laid over and let that one happen. Iowa tried their hardest on this one. They had some turnovers. I believe at one point it was 11, but I don't know how many they actually had. So I mean, I'll give credit where credit's due. They tried. They had a chance to win this game at the end, or win or tie it, and they chose to go for the win, which is fine. Um, so that was fine too. So yeah, so they were there at the end. It's disappointing. I wish they could have won it, guys. I really wish they would have, and I could have said, hey, okay, now they won one that I predicted a loss on, and so now that we can move my record to 13-7, but it's not going to happen. But I do predict that they win the next 3 games at home. I just don't remember who the third one is. Pretty sure it's Nebraska, Rutgers, and I forget who the other is. Okay, let's move on to an impressive win that the women had at Ohio State. They took on number 2 and undefeated first place team in the Big Ten, Ohio State, and Iowa just rocked it, man. They just rocked it big time. Let me go pull up. Let's just talk about that game a little bit. It was a close game throughout, so that was thing. And so the Hawkeyes proved that they could play a close game. I believe they won by 9, but more than anything else, it is. Okay. Let me just give me a sec, and I will pull up the basketball news. Okay. Okay. So the Hawkeyes down number 2, Ohio State. Okay. Um. Overall for that game, Iowa shot 47%, Ohio State 38. And so free throws was 92%, 70% by Ohio State. Turnovers, Iowa had 17 turnovers, but they usually have a lot of turnovers though. If you guys haven't noticed, you know, Caitlin Clark turns the ball over a lot. Okay. They had 3 steals versus Ohio State had 11. So this is the only time we're going to play Ohio State before the tournament. So I imagine that with any luck, we'll probably end up getting them in the tournament again. Okay, so that's that. Let's see what else we got here. Okay, so in that game, Monica Sonano had 22 points. Caitlin Clark had a triple double, 28 points, 15 assists, and 10 rebounds. Molly Davis just had 3. Kate Martin had 13 points. Gabby had 5. Sydney Ofter, Ofter. I can't say her name very well. Ofter. She had 4 points, and Hannah Stolke, I think she's the future of Hawkeye basketball after Caitlin leaves, had 8 points, and AJ Edginger only got a minute 22 and didn't put up any shots. It looks like she did get a defensive rebound in the game. Um, Iowa led by 13 at one point in the fourth quarter. End up winning by 9, I think. Right? Okay. Biggest scoring run 11 by Iowa, 10 by Ohio State. Lead changes were 5. They were tied just once. Iowa led 34 minutes of the game and only 4 minutes for um 4 minutes for Ohio State. So there's a lot that come out of that. Ohio State now has Nebraska coming up. And let's talk a little bit about Nebraska. I think it's Saturday. And so let's go back to that. Um, hmm. So a little bit about, let's see. So Nebraska, they're 12-8, 4-5 in the Big Ten. They dropped their last contest to um, number 11 Maryland, 69-54 last Sunday. They're 2-5 on the road. They're 2-6 against the AP 2025 this year. So they can, you know what, guys, they can hurt you. They can hurt you. They score 69 points a game. Um, Iowa leads the all-time series 20-15, and so oh, and that last game, Hannah Stolke in the Ohio State game had 13 rebounds. Cool for that, right? Yeah, cool. And so yeah, so that should be a very good game. I hope the crowd turns out, guys. I hope you turn out for the game on. I believe it's Saturday. I believe they play Nebraska Saturday, and the men play. Um, who do they play? They play somebody on. I thought Sunday. Let me bring up the men's schedule again. Let's see where we're at with the men's schedule. Yeah. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. So the next game is Rutgers at 1 o'clock Central Standard Time in Iowa City. That's on Sunday, followed by an 8 p.m. Central Standard Time game with Northwestern on the 31st. And then Illinois comes to town at 1:30 on February 4th. One, two, three, four. That's a Saturday. Okay, so Iowa basically has uh 3 games next week, 3 games in a 7-day period. So they've got two in a 3-day period. Actually, so I think Iowa can win all these games. They really can. I think they just got to be on top of their game, play defense, hit the 3-point shots. Don't forget to hit the free throws, and don't turn the stupid ball over again. I feel like they were doing that a lot. Um, and after that run, after that 3-game homestand with Illinois, um, Iowa has a road trip to Purdue and a road trip to Minnesota, and then they get Ohio State back at home. I believe that Iowa wins the Minnesota road game, wins at home against Ohio State, and then they got a road game to Northwestern. That game will be tough, but I'm going to give that win to Iowa. Um, then they play Wisconsin at Wisconsin. I'm going to give that one to Wisconsin. And then Michigan State comes to Iowa City for a replay performance, and we're going to give that one to to Iowa State this time. I think this time Iowa gets their way in that game. There's been a lot of times where Iowa's lost a tight, close game like that, and then come back and just blew out Michigan State on their own court. Then there's a road trip to Indiana. I'll give that one to Indiana. And finally, the final game of the season will be Nebraska at home on March 5th. We'll give that one to Iowa. So that should round out a 12-8 record for Iowa guys on that. Now going back, I want to talk a little bit about. I know I'm going through this stuff kind of fast tonight. Next up, I want to talk a little bit about the wrestling, how that went this week, and I want to preview a little bit about. Uh, okay, so after the Wisconsin match the other day, um, Iowa wins that on criteria. The score was tied 18-18 after they got done. I think each team had 5 wrestlers win. Um, but Iowa scored more match points, so that gave Iowa a 19-14 dual meet win over Wisconsin. Spencer Lee um, was Big Ten Wrestler of the Week honor. That was his second time. And Spencer had a little trouble in this match. He had to wait till the second period to get his pin. Oh yeah, second period pin by Spencer. We've been used to seeing him do it in about a minute on the first period. Um, and so, but let's take a look about the match coming up. It's Friday night. I believe it'll be on BTN, and it'll be at Penn State. So, guys, this is going to be tough. Iowa should be only favored of think about maybe 3 matches. Three. I look for them. Maybe 3 matches in this. They should be favored in. Um. Okay. Alrighty. Let me find it, guys. I had the preview all written down here, and I need to go find it, and as I don't have it memorized, so let me go look for it real quick. Um. Yep. I didn't go to school for journalism, so sometimes if I come in here a little bit unprepared and not 100% perfect journalism. It's because I didn't. I'm just a fan like you guys that just likes to get out here and talk about the Hawkeyes and everything. And we try to do all the sports if we can. Um, and so, yeah, here we go. Gonna bring it up right now. Um, but yeah, so not only do we do wrestling, men and women's basketball, you'll see that I put a story on the Facebook page tonight about softball. I'll do baseball here too. We've done soccer. I haven't done as much with the track or the gymnastics, but I feel bad about that. But I could get it done, right? Okay. Okay. Yeah. So Iowa um, is only favored in three of the matches. That would be Spencer Lee at 125. Iowa's a slight favorite at 141 and 149. For Iowa to win this duel, they would have to wrestle above their rankings, and that's true. There's no surprise there. Penn State right now is hot. They got a lot of great wrestlers on there, and Iowa's just got to rise to the occasion. I see Brody Teske at we won't. Spencer Lee is taking on it looks like unranked Gary Steen. He's a redshirt freshman who has a 5-9 record. Brody Teske, who looks like he's ranked 17th for Iowa from Fort Dodge, is 4-0. Or Corlin Shriver could go here too, and he's 7-6. But they'll take on the number one wrestler for at that weight, Roman Bravo Young, and he's pretty tough. He's 9-0 this season, and so yeah, that's gonna be a tough get. That's gonna be an upset if either one of those two guys can pull that off. I believe in Brody Teske. I think he's probably the future at that weight. More so than Colin Shriver, who I believe is wrestling up from 125. Okay, Real Woods, who's ranked number two at 141. And he's going to take on Bo Bartlett, who's 14-0. But is ranked, he's ranked 8-4-3. I'm not sure. Somebody will have to tell me what all those 8-4-3 means, but he's ranked in those. So he's ranked pretty heavily in two of the polls. Okay, so that just gives Real a slight edge, and but anyway, once Bartlett is 14-0, and Real Woods is 9-0, so um, there's supposed to be a slight edge. Max Mirren is 11-7-9. He's got a record of 13-3. Or Caleb Rathjen could go with the 4-3 record out this, and they're going to take on Shan Van Ness, redshirt freshman, who's 11-2. So there's 12, 13-12 rankings for Shane. So Iowa, if the rankings hold true, Iowa's a slight favorite here. Okay. Cole Seabrook, with an 8-2 record. He's ranked 17, 15, 14, and 14. There's an extra one in there. Takes on Levi Haynes, who's ranked 6, 9, 11, and who's 6-3. Um, to me, this looks like one that Kobe Seabrook could get. Um, I'm not saying that he can't, but this looks like one that he might be able to get. If things fall his way, and we'll see how about that. Patrick Kennedy at 175 with a 12-2 record. He's 19. He's 9, 13, and 11. He takes on 13, 15, 5. Alex Facundo. He's a redshirt freshman, and he's 11-1 this year. Um, this is crazy the way the records are falling here. Again, this is another one that I think, if things go well, Iowa could get this. So if Iowa gets the three that they're predicted to win, and they get the what I think they can get if things fall right, 157, 165. That would give them That would give them a total of 5 matches. Nelson Brands is unfortunately has the is I mean who is he's 4-3, but he unfortunately has to take on Carter Starcy, who's 10-0 and ranked number one across the board. So he's got a tough draw. Abu Saad, who's 14-2, also has a tough draw when he has to take on number one Aaron Brooks. He's ranked number one across the board, but he's 6-1. So, and Jacob Warner is he's 11-2. He's going to take on Max Dean, who's 12-2, and actually on one ranking he's number one, and he's four in the others. Um, Tony Caspioni is ranked three across the board. He's taking on Greg Curvilate Jr., who's ranked two across the board. He's 8-1. Tony is 16-0. Iowa needs this one. This is one Iowa can get. I believe in my whole heart that they can get this one. If they get that one, that would be like 6 matches. I think that Iowa has a shot at winning. Okay, like I said, they're going into this only slight favorites in three matches. So um, gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough, but I'll be in front of the TV tomorrow night watching. How about you guys? I mean, nothing more exciting than Hawkeye wrestling, and so yeah, and so that's about all I got for you guys tonight. I just wanted to get out there and thank you for watching, and please subscribe to this YouTube channel. Share it with your friends, your Hawkeye friends, your Husker friends, your Cyclone fans, whoever. Share it. Let them know that we're here. Like I said, I don't have Jason and Paul with me tonight. I don't know how often they'll be back. Um, you know, I know that when things start happening with Iowa football, there's a lot of rumors out there about what's going on, and now the dominoes are starting to fall in the NFL. Bill O'Brien has been hired as offensive coordinator as officially at New England Patriots. It's been said that Brian Ferentz would probably get hired over there as a tight end coach or maybe even an O line coach, but I think they're looking at somebody else for O line coach. Um, and so if Brian got hired by New England, that opens up plenty of doors for Iowa to make the changes that they want. And I know that the fans are screaming for change, the media is screaming for change, and if they don't get change, I know that the media is already they don't know what they're going to do. They don't know how they're going to cover spring practice when they know that there's not change out there, that they're not going to be able to give the Iowa fans much hope that anything is going to change next year. And so I don't know. I would say be careful what you wish for if we get rid of Brian. It might cost us a couple of players. Honestly, the players love Brian and they're there for him. There has been a rumor going around. I don't know how true it is that Paul Christ has been spending the last few weeks in Iowa City. Is he our new offensive coordinator? Is he our new quarterback coach? We don't know. There's a lot to be said and a lot to be unfolded. There are 4 guys visiting this weekend. From I think 2 from the transfer portal. 2. One of them is Tom Pahalski's son, who played quarterback. I mean, Tom Pahalski, you remember, played quarterback behind Hartleb and stuff back in the Hayden Fry years. And his son, I believe, is a tight end. He's been offered a preferred walk on, and so he's going to come for a visit this weekend. He's visited before, I know that. There's I think there's an old line person coming. Uh, Let me double check. There's an old line person coming to somebody I think out of Virginia who's a 4-time ACC person, so that could be coming to. Okay, somebody just posted on Twitter that Iowa's a NIT team. I don't know. Maybe they are. We'll see. Um, you never know how those things are going to pan out, guys. We already know that. Okay, righty. Let me go through here. Um, what am I looking for? Um, on my thing, I asked this morning for people to leave a message or a comment on what they want to hear on the podcast tonight. And one person asked, "Who is signing the 1st of February with Iowa in football?" And honestly, this is the same person. He's the one that he broke the news on some of the people visiting. Well, he's the first one I saw break the news on these guys visiting. Um, okay. Okay. Yeah, I can't think of somebody named Jackson. I think he's an old line person. Um, uh, somebody else I think out of Miami. He might be an old line person too, coming for a visit. And I don't remember the fourth person. I thought I had that all down here, guys. Sorry, I didn't get that going. And so finally, before I leave you, okay. Um, one more final thing. Alrighty. Okay, so that's it, guys. I'm just gonna leave it there. We'll get more football news as we go on. We probably should start hearing some things in the next couple of weeks with the February signing period coming up and spring practice not too far away. And as the NFL dominoes start to fall in the NFL, we'll hear more about what might be going on with Brian. And guys, here's what I think, about Brian. They're not going to fire him. They're not going to fire him. If he doesn't land anywhere, Iowa's stuck with him. Um, I think this is the way to make Iowa make Brian go away feeling good about himself if he gets offered a job in the NFL, so he can say I left for the NFL. Um, and honestly, I've heard more than one person say that same theory. Although I thought the theory first, and I actually said it on one of my podcasts earlier. Um, so yeah, I think if Brian doesn't get picked up by an NFL team or another college team, guys, we're stuck with him for at Iowa, and so we'll see what happens. I know it's exciting. It's good times. Just be patient. There are things out there rolling from what I hear, and we'll see how it goes. I don't have all the inside scoop right now, um, and so I'm hearing rumors, and I'm pulling bits and pieces from other, from former players who podcast, from journalists who podcast, and talk about stuff and stuff that they've heard, people who have insight, and so that's yeah. Let's just wait and see what happens with the football team, guys. I think exciting things are coming. Um, so I'm going to get out of here. I've been trying to get out of here for the last couple minutes. I didn't want this to go way past 30 minutes, and we're at 34 minutes. So, guys, you have a wonderful night. I'm hoping that we get three consecutive wins next week against Rutgers, Northwestern, and Illinois. Okay, let's out and let's go and wish the Hawkeyes well. Watch the wrestling tomorrow night and Saturday. Watch the women and then watch the men take on Rutgers at home on Sunday.